Yo, welcome everybody to the first Dual Shock podcast with your host Dizzle and the co-host with the mostest,
It's your boy Live Shot.
Liver Shot. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, sir. How are you?
Doing good. So today the topic is going to be the new Last of Us trailer that came out, our thoughts, our predictions of what's to come in it, theories, and definitely the multiplayer because I know myself and you both were huge fans of the multiplayer game that was definitely slept on
Oh yeah, big
by the
time.
community. But all right, so yeah, just to jump right in it, Last of Us, the trailer. I thought the trailer was amazing. I thought it was sweet. The gameplay they showed was like gruesome. It was ridiculous. Uh, did you have any opinions on that, Corey? Liver Shot, what you thinking?
Yeah, nice little slip there. Anyway, yeah, no, I thought the gameplay looked awesome. I mean, it still had the same like feel, but obviously updated quite a bit. I was impressed. Honestly, I was impressed.
All right, now Don, let's just get into it. Everyone's already been through it with, dissecting the trailer. We're not really going to dissect the trailer. We're just going to jump into our opinions and what we think's to come and theories. Now, I got one for you. You tell me what you think about this, Liver.
All right.
This was my theory, and you can go ahead and interrupt and tell me if you think I'm way off here. But all right, you know how when the trailer starts basically with her at that dance thing, and you can definitely see that those two ladies have something going on, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. You get. Well, I don't know about right at first, but yeah, it becomes.
I'm saying once they start dancing,
Oh well,
and
yeah, yeah. By then it's obvious. Yeah.
you can kind of tell that Ellie has like a little thing for. Do you remember what her name was in the trailer? It's blanking from me right now.
Dina, I believe.
Dina. I think it was Dina.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
I think it was Deanna Dean. It was something like that. But all right, this is my kind of theory. Like going back to the first trailer when Joel walks in and how everyone thinks Joel's dead, right? Everyone thinks he's dead. Like
Well,
that's the big thing. Most people. That was
it
like
was
the big thing going around that
it was a
everyone's thinking he's
prevailing
dead.
theory. Yeah, I don't know about everyone, but yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, yeah,
So my thing is this now. Now with this new one, this new trailer that we just saw, they kiss. You see at the end of the kiss, dude, she's got a big smile on her face. She's all happy. My theory is this, Liver. In the story, Dina, she is going to die. She's not just going to die. She's going to die gruesomely right in front of Ellie, dude. She's going to die gruesomely. And that takes you back to that first trailer where she's playing the guitar and shit. And Joel walks in and she's like, I'm going to kill every last one of these motherfuckers. She's pissed, dude, and I think that's why. That's my theory. I think that's why she's pissed. I think that's why she goes into just vengeance, and that's why I think the game's going to be gruesome. I think they took away one thing that made Ellie truly happy, and she's going to make everyone pay for it. That's kind of like my small theory on where I think the story's going. Like how in the first Last of Us, in the original, they tried to rip your heart out right away with Joel losing his daughter, getting shot, and right off the bat, dude, right in the beginning of the game, they try to rip your heart out and shit. I don't know if they'll do it right in the beginning, but they're gonna have moments in this game where they try to rip your heart out, and that's the one I see. So that's
Um,
kind of where I'm thinking it's
I
going.
I totally get your theory, like where you're coming from and like why you think that. But the one thing I think you're like underestimating is Drunkman. Neil's his name, right? I think
Yeah,
Neil.
yeah.
That motherfucker loves to mind fuck people. That's his thing. He's all about the mind fuck. So think about it. The first trailer, they make it appear, or not even. I mean, they didn't even really like try to like make it obvious, but like people all took from it that Joel was probably fucking dead, and if that was like his ghost or whatever. And in the second one, not only do they mention Joel so that you know he's not dead, they make it look not kind of obvious. I mean, I'm not saying it's elementary, but your theory is that Dina gets killed,
That's
and
probably a
every.
lot of people's theories. That's probably
And
not just mine.
I
That's
agree,
probably
but hold on, I'm gonna bring it full circle. Give me a minute. All right, so that Dina, Ellie's in love with her, and they're soulmates or whatever the fuck, and so that she has to seek vengeance for her. But that's like the obvious, you know what I mean? That's like you see that trailer, and then she's pissed from the first trailer. So why is she pissed? Oh, it must be because Dina's dead. Drunkman likes to mindfuck you, so you got to remember that when Joel is referred to in that trailer, it's a flashback from the present time that the game is actually taking place in.
Yeah.
That was an earlier scene. So all we know is that Joel was alive
At
at
that
that
point.
time, but we don't know if he's still alive when the actual game is taking place. So my whole theory is kind of basically that Dina probably does get killed at some point, but I think basically the what the fuck is their name? The cult
Oh my god, what is it? I can't remember the name of the new
starts
cults.
with a S. I don't remember, but yeah. Anyways, those people. Basically, my theory is they break into their camp at Oregon or Seattle or I don't know wherever the fuck it is. They break into their camp, fuck up all kinds of people, kill like all kinds of their friends and coworkers and whatever. But I think they take some people hostage, like either to use them as for like ransom or
Yeah.
just to kill them like in rituals or whatever for whatever reason they take. And then somehow along the way they figure out that like these guys are like legends and like they got this past and this history and they fucked up all kinds of people and shit, and they figure they might be worth something, or maybe they even figure out that Ellie like has some kind of cure or whatever, so they want to draw her in. I don't know exactly how all that part gets worked out, but basically I think they kidnap probably Dina and Joel, or
That
one of them gets killed, or they both get kidnapped. But basically, I think the reason she flips her shit is because Joel gets killed at some point in the game, and
I really
she
hope
can't
Joel
she
does
can't
not
stop.
get killed, but I
Oh,
mean it
so do
might
I.
happen. I hope. But you know what I do think? We know for sure we're gonna get to play it as Joel at some point in that game. I guarantee you. I guarantee it. It's
Ah,
just like you know how we barely got to play as Ellie and in Last of Us. I think
yeah.
it's gonna be switched. I think we're barely gonna get to play as Joel, but I'm telling you, I think the part where we get to play as Joel is gonna be the most gruesome moment in the game. I think it's gonna be like you fucked with Ellie, you fucked with my girl. I'm going to rip you apart. I think it's gonna be the most gruesome. Like you know how in the part in that trailer where Ellie's kind of sneaking up on the path and they got that guy hanging and they gut him
Uh-huh,
like
uh-huh.
right in front of her. Dude, I think it's going to be 10 times more gruesome than that, than what he does to people, man. I think he's going to absolutely. I guarantee we're going to get to play as him, even if it's in a flashback or a version if he does die. And you know what I mean? Even if it's just a playthrough of like how he dies, you know what I mean? I think maybe if he does die, we'll get to play as him as he, you know, as the story goes up to him dying, but I don't know. I just think it's going to be the game's definitely gruesome. You can tell just by the gameplay that
Oh well, I mean,
it's.
if you just go by the first game, I mean, that game, not even for the time, but just in general, was pretty damn gruesome. So if they're trying to top the original, then obviously they're gonna have to go that much farther.
But back to what you said about the cult, though, like that's the thing. Like they didn't really tip off like their motive, what they were doing, but it was kind of funny in that
Well, you didn't.
you know that E3 show they did afterwards with the cast and crew when they had
Yeah.
that one girl interviewing them and stuff. How at one point in that they say the one girl I think hosting says something about how the bad guys talking to them as bad guys, and Drunkman kind of was like, well. You know, it's
Yeah.
all kind of up to
It's it's
interpretation if you
relative.
think they're bad guys or if they're the good guys. So I almost wonder if they're basically like the new Fireflies almost or something like that to where they know she has the cure and maybe that's why they invade. I don't know. That's the part of the story it's pointless to even guess on because you have no clue where the naughty they're never going to let you have any hint of what the hell they're doing. And
Well, see that.
that's probably why I'm totally wrong. Dina, she probably doesn't even die. Just because they make you feel like that's what's going to piss Ellie off, she probably doesn't even die. But
Well, that's the only thing I don't like about that theory is just it's too obvious, and I think Drunkman wants people to think that. So that's why I don't think that. But the other thing you mentioned the Fireflies. That's another thing. They're not gone. So yeah, we have this new cult thing or whatever. But if you remember, in the first
In
trailer.
that teaser, yeah, where it zoomed
Yeah,
in on the firefly on the stop sign, yeah. So that
yeah,
definitely hinted towards the fireflies are there.
yeah. So they're not irrelevant necessarily in this story. I don't think they are. I think they're still going to be around and play some kind of role.
And you're right, they probably will. It's just so far it seems like this cultish shit has been taken. Even you know what, the one trailer that a lot of people think it's Ellie's mom that they got hanging, and
That may not be a flashback. We all assumed it
yeah,
was,
I
but that
don't
may.
know. Like that's the trailer that I have zero clue of what's going on. I don't even know how to pair that into anything because it's
Well, again,
characters you've
that's.
never seen before. Like there's no way I can think of to mesh that into all the other trailers. Kind of like you could make a theory putting them all together. That's the one you try to put in there and figure something out, and there's nothing you can figure out.
I just hope they're basically not trying to take some of the load of the story off Joel and Ellie to try to like sell more games. Like, oh, it doesn't even necessarily have to be about Joel and Ellie. Which I've heard Drungman say before that he knows that's what the story's about. So I mean, they probably
Yeah,
wouldn't do that, but still, I don't. I just don't like the idea of introducing too many new characters.
and I kind of hope they don't too because I kind of want it to be mainly tied. But like you said, with like I don't mind them adding in like subtle characters like that were in the first one, like Bill. You know what I mean? But he was
No,
so like he had such a small part.
yeah, but
You
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
people like they
Taking
don't
up,
even really.
yeah,
He was
taking up a
he was
huge part of the
involved.
story.
He was involved in the story pretty intricately because he was only
Yeah,
in the game for a short while, but uh, Joel had referenced him several
yeah,
times
several
before
times.
and after that. So I mean, I don't know. He felt not really so much like a new character to me, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, I don't mean new characters like that. I mean new characters that you might possibly like play as, or you know, what I mean, if the story doesn't involve a whole lot about Joel and Ellie and their story, what they're doing. I don't want to get too involved into too many like side stories. You know what I mean? Too many.
Yeah,
This
but
happened to these people. I don't really give
yeah,
a fuck what happened
but
to them.
honestly, at the end of the day, it's Naughty Dog. So I think no matter what they do, they're gonna kill that shit, and they're gonna shit on like every other game company that's even out. Like that's just what they do. Like Sony hit the jackpot with Naughty Dog. Sony hit the
I don't.
jackpot with the games they make. I mean, even like if you're
I
not a
don't.
fan of Uncharted, I mean, everyone's a fan of the original Last of Us, but you know what I mean. They just their games are so sweet, man. Like their
I
stories.
honestly don't fuck with a lot of their games. I never really was into Uncharted. What's some of their other shit? Really? I mean, The Last of Us is all I think I really play. Uh,
Well, I'm just saying, if even take all their other games out and just say Uncharted, like I know you didn't play it, but honestly, you should go back and play it. I'll let you borrow, it, man.
I thought about it. It's not that I think it's a horrible game or anything like that. I mean, I've thought about playing it many, many times. It's just I never
I have.
sat
I
down.
gotta find it. I don't even know where it's at. Dude, I swear I have like 5 video games that I have, and I have no clue where they are. I gotta like dig for them and find them. Like,
I have several of your games, so
yeah, but you
that
don't
could be.
have. Did I let you borrow Doom?
No, but my brother did. That's kind of funny. Anyways, this is kind of off
Yeah, off
topic.
topic.
We'll
Yeah,
take
but
care of this.
yeah, we'll take care of this another time. But anyway, I have what I was really going into is I know I have the Uncharted Legacy editions of all the originals, and I have four you could play. You should
I knew you
really,
had four, but I didn't know
yeah,
you had that.
yeah. I got the remaster to the first three. I should let you borrow it so you can play it, so you can fully get into like those games. Naughty Dog has been killing it for a while. It's just I think Last of Us they took to a new level, and it's to me it's fucking amazing. It's and you know
Oh, I
me,
think
I
it's
don't play story. I'm not even into story mode games that much.
well. Let's tell the audience this story, motherfucker. This dude would have never even played the story on the first Last of Us game. I basically had to threaten him with violence before he would even start to play. Of course, he fell in love immediately once he did finally start to play it. But he
This
was
is true.
he couldn't. He's the multiplayer. He just which we'll get to
Obsessed
multiplayer in a little bit. But yeah, this guy was just obsessed with the multiplayer. It's not that he
for good
didn't.
reason. I mean that multiplayer people. I have
Oh, I
no
think
clue
it's.
why more people didn't play it. When you have all these people playing games like Call of Duty and Battlefield, and they won't give a game like Last of Us online. Maybe it's because I think the story was so good. They were like, it has a multiplayer. Like maybe people
Yeah,
didn't know or something because the multiplayer
and
was the shit.
the multiplayer style was a little bit foreign probably to a lot of people. So maybe they gave it a whirl once or twice, but they didn't really get it, so they were like, you know, never mind. But to me, that's the reason. That's part of the reason the game is so great because yeah, it has the greatest story ever told, at least in a video game, maybe
Yeah, I agree.
whatever. But it also has to me, the most well thought out and the most fun to play multiplayer. Um, so I mean, you put those two together. Obviously, if it's the best story and the best online, then it's the best game ever. But I don't see how Naughty Dog could fuck it up to the point where it's not a good game. I don't foresee that at all. I don't see any way that could happen. But I
Yeah.
just hope they don't try to do too
You
much.
think this is
I,
it? You think Last of Us is done after this, or you think there'll be more? There'll be more than a two. There'll be a three.
I hope that there's more. And the way Drunkman was talking in one of the last newer interviews that I've heard, it seemed to me like they're definitely looking at this as a franchise. Which who could blame them? I mean, it's a
I
cash
hope
cow, if nothing else. Yeah, so do I. But I think that question would be a lot easier to answer.
after the
You know,
game. Yeah,
yeah,
after the
obviously,
playthrough when you see how it ends.
yeah. When you see how the story plays out, I think obviously,
Like clearly everyone dies at the end of Last of Us 2. There ain't no fucking third. I mean that's
yeah.
not gonna happen. Neil Druckmann, I'll kill you. I will find you and kill you. Do not kill them all. Not even Joel, you motherfucker. Do not kill Joel. I will find you.
Oh, dude,
No.
I'm hoping my theory is proven completely like just ludicrous. I don't want Joel to die, but like I said, to me, that's the only thing that could get Ellie just that
To
off her
switch, yeah.
rocker.
I just don't want it to happen because he's just I don't know. We'll see what happens, man.
Dude,
Overall, though, I was extremely happy with the trailer, but I know we have one more thing to dish on. Basically, as far as this goes, how pissed were you that there was no release date? We still have no clue. Zero clue when this game's coming out.
I felt like kicking four puppies right in the face, and I love animals. For anyone who doesn't know me, who may be listening, I love dogs, but I felt like kicking just puppies in the face because I wanted that release date.
He
So.
literally almost went and adopted four just to boot them because because yeah, I felt the same way. I mean, I don't know about the thing about booting puppies, but yeah, I was just because I almost didn't think I almost thought there was a chance they wouldn't. I deep down thought they would, but in that thing afterwards when he basically said like they're not going to give a release date until they're close to being done, and he said they're not close. What I'm hoping
Yeah, but he didn't
is
say
it.
they're far either.
No,
You
he
know what I
didn't,
mean? The
and
way you made it sound, I thought you meant like, oh, we're not even close. He didn't say that. He's just like, we're not. I want to be like within a month or two. Like to where I know for sure, like before I give any type of release date. All he said was we're not like that
me,
close to
I'm
where
hoping
I feel
like
that comfortable.
I'm hoping summer 2019 because we know for sure it's not coming out in 2018.
Well, yeah, I
There's no way with all the other good games that are coming out there. I mean, not that they'd have to worry about them games. Like they'll shit on all those games, but I'm just saying. I think they'll summer. That's my June.
if you have a PS4 and you do not buy The Last of Us Part Two, sell your fucking. You have no. You. Why do you even sell your PS4? What do you do?
I I don't
What do you do?
understand it. I actually have a few friends that like have PlayStations that still haven't played it, and I tell them like I don't know what's wrong with you. Like
And you cut those people out of your life.
I haven't heard
Yes.
from them in a while. No, no, I still talk to them, but they play other systems too, and they're a little bit like me to where they like playing online. But it's sometimes it's hard to get someone who doesn't not that doesn't like story mode games, single player experiences, but they just they want to try it, they want to play it, but the competitive in them, the multiplayer, like it just keeps pulling them away from it. That's kind of how I am. Like I want to play things, but then I'm like, oh, I really want to go shit on someone in this video game. So I'm not like I got a whole bunch of games that I haven't even played, man. Like I
Oh,
really
I know.
do.
In
Like,
general, you're not a story mode type of guy, but I mean, The Last of Us is kind of a
yeah.
different animal when it comes to that.
Now that's gonna be the hard part when it comes out. Like I'm probably gonna jump right into the multiplayer, and I'm gonna have to. I'm taking a week off of work. Like I'm scheduling my vacation around this game. I don't care. That way I can play multiplayer and play the story and get them both. You know.
The problem I foresee with that though is I think it's going to be a little bit tough to avoid spoilers, bro. If you don't play the story mode quick
Oh,
enough,
I'm gonna have to live
you
in a
might have to
hole, and I'm okay with that.
you might have to watch yourself, like be on your p's and q's, son, because you might get some info you don't want to have.
Oh, I'll kill you. Like just so you
I'm not
know.
saying me, you son of a bitch. I ain't even talking about me. I'm talking about like Facebook,
Oh,
fucking
I won't.
TV, fucking
My TV won't
whatever.
turn on. I won't even look at my phone. Like, I won't be able to watch YouTube because I'm
No,
sure
that's what I'm
people
saying.
I listen to and stuff like that will be all over talking about it.
Oh,
So,
there's gonna be walkthroughs and
oh, I won't
strategies and
even.
fucking.
If I even see Last of Us in a video title or an article or anything, I won't even click on it. Like, I really won't.
Well, you won't be able to, is my point. So you're gonna have to put up with that shit for however long you choose to
Yeah.
withhold.
So I can't. Like I said, I'm gonna take. Hopefully I can schedule one of my weeks of vacation around when the game drops. If I have enough time, they announce it to where I have enough time to put the vacation time around that. I'm gonna
I thought
take a
you were. I,
week.
I thought you were internet famous, motherfucker. Aren't you that D Dizzle from that H1Z1 video, bro? Isn't that you?
That has nothing to do with me calling off work for Last of Us, but
I
yeah, I
thought
mean,
I
in
thought you
H
was
one,
internet
if you
famous.
if you come at me in H1, you'll quick to learn my name. That's for sure. On PlayStation, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're talking about other game multiplayers now. I mean, this is probably the best point to just jump in and talk about it. Liver, what are you hoping for the multiplayer, man? Like, do you think they're gonna change it? I think personally they're gonna change it. I don't know if they're gonna mess it up, but I think it's gonna be a lot different, man. A lot different.
Well, all right. I already know because they've already discussed. Well, I mean, not in the multiplayer, but in the game itself, they've discussed several things that they change. Obviously, they're not gonna change them in the fucking story mode. And I mean, there may be a few things that they don't change in multiplayer, but my only point was that to me, I'm not saying this would be perfect, but I wouldn't be mad at all if they didn't change a fucking thing about the multiplayer other than the maps and obviously the graphics.
Preach.
But yeah, if they left it exactly the same, I
Preach.
would not. I would not even be. I'd be like, well, it's kind of weird, it's a new game 5 years later, but they didn't even. But I'm fine with it. I mean, thanks for not fucking anything up. It looks awesome and it's new maps and everything's the same. My favorite guns, my favorite bombs, whatever else.
Well,
Fuck yeah, dude.
well, I think that's what a lot of people hate. I don't know. Like people would say, I don't know. It's pretty bare bones and basic. I loved how simple it was. I loved
So do
how it
I.
was just these are the guns you can use. I mean, they added DLC, which kind of that
Some of it
tag
was
some of the
OP.
guns was a little OP. But I mean, the burst rifle was a gun you didn't have to pay for, and if you got good with that, you could shred heads off in one shot. So,
It
I
was
mean,
OP as fuck. That gun
yeah,
was.
yeah, it was. But I liked how kind of simple the game was, and that's one of the things I love about it.
And the four
So,
on four too. Yeah, the
yeah,
smaller levels,
yeah.
the 4 on 4. Yeah, yeah.
That's what I hope they do not change. I just hope they keep at least that to the small knit teams like 4v4, you know, definitely keep supply raid, definitely keep survivors.
Yeah.
Was
Oh,
a
a must.
I never was
Those
a
are
huge
musts.
huge fan of interrogation, but I definitely think they should
No,
keep that. Like just
yeah, neither
keep
was
the
I.
modes, and if they want to
Yeah.
add new modes, I'm 100% fine with that. I don't care if they add new modes, but
Yeah.
keep the structure there. Like,
Yeah, let me play the old game that I wanted. If you want to add new things like in other modes or whatever, that's fine. But let me play my basic stripped down, boring game if that's what you
yeah.
think it is.
But I'm telling you for sure, like how you just play as like basic characters, like they have no connection to the story. They're just basically like you're the fireflies or the hunters or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah,
Um, like I guarantee you, it's not going to be like that in the new Last of Us. It's going to be your characters,
I
like,
hope you're wrong about
and
that.
like, and if you're not characters to the point to where you're Joel, Ellie, other people from the story, kind of like how Uncharted did it, where you were like Drake or the different characters from Uncharted in that multiplayer. I
Well, let me
think they
know.
will at least, dude. They'll at least like make it so the characters are a little bit more customizable. Like, different shirts, different outfits. Like, I guarantee you that's coming. I
Well, yeah.
can guarantee it. I don't
The
and I
no,
don't mind that.
no,
I
that's
don't.
fine. That's fine. But the number one thing they won't do, which I think would be actually kind of sweet, do like some EA Sports type shit where you could, send a picture in or fucking
Oh, the face scan
yeah,
from
scan your
like
shit,
yeah,
have it be you. I think that'd
yeah.
be kind of dope. But I
It
don't
would
see
be,
Naughty
and like
Dog.
maybe like let me
Yeah.
spit on people after I kill them, like you know what I mean. So it feels good, yeah,
They add the true teabag. You actually pull your balls out. And
yeah, yeah, because that's what everyone does in that game. Like you bitch ass dude teabagging me. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna be improved in a lot of areas. I just hope they don't ruin it because a lot of multiplayer games do that. Like they'll have a great formula and they'll just try doing too much to it and they ruin it. And it
number
may
one,
still be good. It's just not as good.
number one thing. Neil Drunkman, if anybody has his Twitter or any fucking thing, you send him this. God damn it. If you take away the listen mode, you son of a bitch.
I don't know. I didn't see it in the trailer, man. That's the other thing we didn't talk about. She didn't
If
use
if
it
you
in the
if you take
gameplay.
away if you take away my motherfucking listen mode, I swear to God, bad shit will happen.
I mean, it would be
That's all I'm gonna
definitely
say.
weird, but a lot of people hated that listen mode. I
A lot of
mean,
people can suck a bag full of dicks.
yeah, like a lot of people didn't like it, but a lot of people were super like there were like levels in that game. There were like it was almost like you had your like really good players and then like okay players and then just a sea of straight garbage.
If you were sweet at that game, listen mode didn't even really. You would never see anyone. They could be right around the corner, and if they were good at the game, you would never know it.
Well, this is the other thing. Like I always heard people like bitch about on the multiplayer in the original was like covert training. Like people, oh, you're using covert training. Like
Everyone who's
motherfucker,
good,
yeah,
everyone
I
who's
don't
good does.
like.
That's
I mean, there's certain ways to play online where it's not allowed and stuff, and like FN rules. You can't even use covert. Like that's one of the rules. But my thing is this: like, I guess if there's no vision, you don't need covert. So the bitching about that'll be gone. My whole thing is like this: when I'm playing, I don't want you to ever see where I'm at. Now that doesn't mean you see how I play. I never would just walk around. I mean, I would never just crawl around the whole. I'm constantly walking, moving
Oh, dude,
around,
I
hitting
can't even keep up
flanks.
with you. I can't even
Like
keep up with you. I was constantly telling you to slow the fuck down in that game.
But
So yeah,
covert training was like awesome. Like I'd be moving pretty quick, but if it came a point where I was like on the rear of the enemy team, of course I'm going to start crouching to hit that ultimate flank. But I mean, I can see why people didn't like it. But I mean, we'll
because
see
it's
what happens.
soft.
We'll see what happens with the game and what they change. And I
Somebody
mean,
hit Neil up on Twitter. The 6 people that are gonna fucking ever hear this. Hit him up. Don't take away my not like I'm some fucking soft ass sissy that needs listen
well, I
mode.
mean,
I just think
all up
I
to
think it was an
debate.
intricate. Well, you want to debate me, then we could do that at another time. But my point is that it was an intricate part of the game. It was like one of the things that made it different, that made it interesting. I mean, other games have tried similar shit to that, but
They did
I
it
think it worked.
great. They did do it great.
Yeah, and I think it works
It
so
worked
well
perfect.
in the story mode, and especially in the multiplayer. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
so
mean,
and
and it's still
if you didn't
maybe in the
use
story.
if you didn't use covert and you wanted to run around and act like a jackass, then yeah, you're gonna get spotted. Good for you. But
Well, I think the people that hated it hated the people that would just choose covert and then just camp like up in a building or something, like that big building in Lakeside, or camp by that ladder up or something. And they just wouldn't even ever move. Like you'd be 3 minutes into the game and they are just still in their spawn, just sitting there with covert. I kind of think that person's a bitch. But I mean, not what I
not
mean.
because they're
You
using
can't.
covert
No,
though.
no,
That's not why they're a
exactly.
bitch.
That's
They're a
not why
bitch.
they're a bitch. They're just a bitch because they're a bitch. they're a camping bitch. Like that's the thing. People can't separate. Like yeah, that person is using it to the utmost bitch mode, but it's not covert. It's that that person plays like a bitch. You know.
Dude, I will run up on your whole squad and board all four of you motherfuckers down.
I've seen
So
yeah.
no one's ever gonna accuse me of being a camping bitch using covert. Uh, so
No,
I mean,
now how about this? What would you do? And a lot of Last of Us fans that like the multiplayer would probably strangle me for even mentioning it. I don't know. Maybe some of them would dig it. What would you think with the popularity of Battle Royale right now? What would you think if Last of Us did a Battle Royale mode? What would you think?
I mean, I'm all for it. I enjoy battle royale. I think it's gonna get a little oversaturated here very soon. But I like battle royale. I think it's fun. I think it's great as long as it's clearly defined as its own separate. If you want to do that, that's great. You go do that. But I don't want it to be like all encompassing. Like
Yeah,
you're
like
trying to,
that's the mode. That's
yeah,
online. No, I'd be
yeah. No,
pissed.
I would be so upset, dude. So upset.
I kind of feel the same way. Like if they had it, that's good, but please have all the original modes. Please don't. And I don't think they would. I just can't see that.
No,
They wouldn't do that.
there's a reason that game sold so well. Like I said, obviously the story, greatest story, blah blah blah. That's not the only reason, dude. I mean, maybe online the multiplayer wasn't as big of a hit as it should have been, which I don't even know if that's the case because 5 6 years later you can still get a game with no. I mean,
Easy.
you there's still so. I don't even know if that's necessarily the case because how many games can even say that?
Yeah, but I mean, the player
No.
base isn't like it's millions. You know what I mean? I run into the same people a lot.
Yeah, no, and
Like,
I get that. I get that, but I'm just saying, how
so
many
it's
games?
not. It's
How
not
many
like
games?
my
six
whole
years
thing is
later,
yeah,
even have the servers up and running.
yeah.
Seriously,
No, who yeah,
how
who
many?
plays that shit? You know, I agree. I agree. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with the multiplayer. I do hope for new guns. I don't want them to just put 30 guns in the game, but
I
I
kind
do.
of like the balance and the way they had. I mean, obviously, if they change it up a little bit, that's not going to be a make it or break it type of shit for me. But I
But
don't
I do
want,
want
yeah, I don't
some
want
new
to get too
guns though.
crazy.
No, I don't either. Like definitely keep a burst rifle. Definitely keep like the semi. I mean, really, it's hard not to say keep about everything. They can get rid of the tag fucking shotgun for all I care because I think that's a scrub. I just completely thought that gun was just
I didn't
should
care
have
to
never
use
been
it.
put in the game.
Yeah, especially when you run into a whole squad, all four of them are using that shit. It got a little old, but I mean, it's not anything you can't deal with. It's just you gotta, work your
I
way
hope they
around it. But
keep like purchasables though. I hope they do keep like the super weapons you can get. Like I loved the purchase sniper, dude. I loved how you could just take someone's fucking head off. Like, so I hope they keep a lot of things like, and I think they will with how gruesome the story looked. I think the multiplayer is going to be kind of gruesome too.
I honestly didn't use a lot of purchasables. I mean, at times I did. I went through stages and switched things around throughout my time playing that game. But for the most part, I didn't really fuck with purchasables too much. But I don't want them to get rid of them. I think it's a cool concept too. If you want to spend your money upgrading your normal guns or buying
Yeah,
armor or
yeah,
more ammo, that's up to you. Or if you want to buy this other sick ass gun, I like the way it's
yeah.
you can
It's just
structure it
like
how
the
you want on the
choices.
fly. But you can do that on the fly. I mean, you don't have to
Yeah,
make all the decisions right when you start. You can, as you're going, seeing how the match is going, seeing where your needs are gonna be. You can do those. I think, I hope they keep that whole system. Like I said, if they keep everything exactly the same, I won't be upset
I wouldn't eat.
at all.
I
At
wouldn't either
all.
because I loved the way it was, and that's I just don't get it. I don't get how it wasn't more popular. I mean, it wasn't not popular, but you take games like Call of Duty and their player base.
Well,
Last of Us should be getting. Dude, Call of Duty is trash. Like it's so old, it's so played out. Like to me, it's like who's playing this?
a
When's
lot of
the
foreigners.
when's the last time you just really went all in on Call of Duty Online? When's the last time? Me, it's
Oh
been
my dude,
years,
no dude,
years.
I quit like 4 to 5 years before you and Sean and everyone else quit playing that shit. So I'm like, if you're 3 generations back, I'm six or
Yeah,
seven generations back. So, dude, I haven't played. I think when we all played together, it was what, Modern Warfare 3?
yeah, like yeah, two and
So
three. We were playing. Yeah,
we're talking like 2000 fucking 8 and shit or some shit like this. So yeah, it's been a while. Call of Duty got really old really quick for me. I mean, I
Yeah.
like the zombies in Black Ops 2. I like the Nazi zombies, and because that was a fresh new thing at the time. But then they
Yeah.
tried to keep innovating it and making it better and more, and then it
I
just
think it's
got.
just got more trash as they've went every time.
That's a good point to bring that full circle. That's what I really hope they don't do with The Last of Us, and I don't think they will. But they try to do too much, try to push the envelope too far, which to a certain point, to a certain degree, is great. You want that.
Yeah.
But when you go past that point, when you go too far, it just makes the game not what it could have been, not what it should be.
Yeah, and
In
I
my
and
opinion.
almost saying that about other Naughty Dog games. Like I was not a multiplayer Uncharted player like before four. I tried four because I was so into Last of Us. I was like, I'll give Uncharted four multiplayer a try because I just never was into them before, and maybe I missed out because I heard they were actually really good. But a lot of the old school fans I would hear complaining about how they kind of messed the multiplayer up. So I mean, I don't know. You know, I didn't play the old one, so
Well,
I can't hate on it because I still enjoyed it. I didn't. I still, after a month or two of playing that, what did I go? Well, even when I was playing that, I still played Last of Us. But after about a month and a half, 2 months of playing that, I just strictly went back to the Last of Us again.
well, I think that's the one good thing that Naughty Dog really doesn't have to worry about drawing in more people, which they're going to do naturally anyways. But that doesn't really have to be a major concern of theirs. Like, how do we get more people to want to play this game?
Oh,
They didn't even think it was going to be as big as it was the first time. So I mean, obviously they're not going to have any problems drawing people in to play this game. So all they really, in my opinion at least, and hopefully in theirs as well, all they really have to cater to is the people who already bought the first game, because that was a fucking buttload of people.
and the people are buying it for the most part for the story. Like the multiplayer could just be completely dog shit, and if the story's epic, it's not like they're gonna be like that game sucked. The multiplayer was terrible.
I
All that
agree.
anyone's gonna give a fuck about is how was the story. That's really it. The multiplayer's like a
Well,
bonus for the hardcore fans that liked it.
for the first game, I would say yeah, but hopefully not for this one. But also, I think it's more than just the story, in my opinion. I think it's the way the game moves, the combat system.
It's everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I wouldn't. I mean, I'm saying even if you take multiplayer out of the equation, it's still. I think it's more than just the story. Obviously, the story is a huge, huge, huge part of it. But I still think it's more than just that.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I'm happy where the game's going. I'm happy about the direction of it, and I wish to God we would get a release date soon, just so I know.
And don't take away my listen mode, motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to add about The Last of Us Part Two, Corey, before we
Um,
sign this off?
no, just everybody enjoy it. I'll see you out there when it comes out. Hopefully, in the next 5 to 10 years. But no, it's gonna be a great game. I know. I mean, like I said, obviously, if we want to nitpick and argue about certain points here or there, I mean, there's probably gonna be something we could bitch about. But all in all, it's obvious. I mean, you could already tell just from the fucking couple trailers. It's gonna be a great game. So I'm looking forward to it, and hope everyone else is too.
Yeah, me too. All right, so that was the first podcast, guys. That was the first Dual Shock podcast. We hope everyone enjoyed it. If you did, if you somehow find this out on the internet and you listened to it and you liked it, I mean, I hope you take the time to give it a like, share it, and tell us what you think in the comments. Let us know if you liked it. We'll definitely be back at you with another one. Not sure what topic it'll be, but we'll be there. Are you
Oh shit!
listening to something?
My bad, dude. I was trying to hang up
Um.
my phone. Did I
So
did that part?
so yeah. We will be back again. Sorry for the co-host problem with being professional. And
You can blame Beaks. That motherfucker called me.
I'm not blaming anyone but you because you're the only one in here. He called me too. I put my phone on silent. Get ahead of the game.
My
But
bad.
yeah, other than the last 2 minutes of this podcast, if you enjoyed it, go ahead and give us a like. Just comment. Tell us if you liked, if you got through it, if you want to hear us talk about any other subjects. We play a lot of games. Um, the co-host Livershot, he's a little bit of a piece of shit for what just transpired there. I'm just kidding. He knows I'm messing with him, but seriously, piece of shit.
Fuck you. Fuck.
But yeah, this is your host D Dizzle with your boy co-host Liver Shot, and
Peace out.
thanks for watching the podcast, guys. Later.
Peace.